Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to our next edition of Virtual Storytime through the Humane Society of the Treasure Coast. I am Jessie Clifford, Director of Humane Education over at the Humane Society, and we're so excited to bring you another really fabulous book this week. We hope you enjoyed the pet suitcase and our body language presentations, but we are going to finally get back to some more books. So this is a great book for elementary aged kids. So start to gather them around. I have my kids here with me. Adele. This is Adele. She came from our shelter. So she's my fur baby. We've got 3, but she's the one that likes to curl up with me while I read. So before we get started with the books, you know, we have a few announcements. So first and foremost, we have just a few more animals at our shelter. So we have 2 cats that are available for adoption or foster to adopt only. Okay, so these 2 cats would be perfect for people who are very seriously considering bringing another cat into their home forever. Okay, whereas we have 1 guinea pig and 12 dogs who all could just come to your house temporarily to get a break from the shelter, or you could obviously adopt them, or you could foster to adopt to see if it's a good fit. Okay, so obviously right now with the coronavirus, we're just trying to whittle our numbers down so that it's easier on the staff. So you have 3 options. Foster to adopt is for people who are wanting to almost test run that animal to see if it would be a good fit in their home. You have adoption, which is just like you're adopting this animal, hopefully no takesies, backsies, and you just know you want this animal in your home. But then we also have the fostering for the animals just to get a break from the shelter. So I hope that makes sense. So the 2 cats are only available for very serious adopters, whereas the 1 guinea pig and the 12 dogs could go the 3 different ways. Okay. And a huge shout out to the shelter staff. You guys are rocking and rolling, and just keep up the great work. You guys are inspirations to everybody. All right. Okay. Don't forget, we are still doing our appointments, we're only doing our fostering and adopting by appointment only. So we are booked through April 28th. So if you hop onto our website, which is www.hstc1.org, that will be in the comments below. But if you hop onto that website, find an animal that you think you might really want to bring into your home, call the shelter and get onto our schedule. Okay. We're just doing that to limit foot traffic at the shelter. The other thing, I know I mentioned it before, but we're again kindly asking, please, if something changes and you can no longer make it to your appointment, kindly, please call the shelter to let us know that you're not coming. We have a lot of people who are waiting, and so if you're no longer able to make it, we can bring somebody in to take your spot. Okay, and that's just going to keep everything moving along nice and efficiently and get the animals out quicker. Okay, so call to cancel if you need to. And the number will be down below. Okay. Another huge thank you. We needed distilled water, and we have so much of it now. You guys really pulled through. We're now trying to find a place to store all of the distilled water. So thank you to everybody who brought that in. We no longer need distilled water. Thank you for helping us with that. You guys, our community is just so incredible. So thank you. Let's see. In terms of donations, what we do need, we always need wet dog and wet cat food. Okay. So you can drop that off at the front of the shelter. We have a white basket that you can just drop it in and be on your merry way. But then the other thing that we need is the squeezed canned cheese, like the Cheese Whiz stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the little, like the whipped cream, but in cheese version. And the reason we love that is because the dogs love that. And so we use it for enrichment. We use it for when we're trying to process animals as like a distraction. So they'll eat some of that Cheese Whiz while we're, maybe taking blood or giving them any vaccinations that they need. So Cheese Whiz is like liquid gold at the Humane Society. So if you have any to spare, please drop it off. We would really appreciate it. Okay. So two more announcements, and these are announcements that I haven't really included in other videos, but we have a few virtual events that are going to be taking place. So obviously we can't all gather around and do our normal fundraisers, but we're trying to make them virtual, and we're still trying to make them fun, all while benefiting the Humane Society. So the first one coming up is on April 24th, which is, I think, 2 days from now. Who knows what day it is? I don't. So I think that's 2 days from now, April 24th. And that is a virtual sip and shop with Jay McLaughlin. So if you are wanting to do some online shopping with really cute clothes, tune in on April 24th. We actually have on our main page, we have a sliding like tab. So it'll say like about us, posts, and then you'll see something that says events. Click on events, and that will show you all of our upcoming ones. Okay, so I wanted to make sure people know where to find that on the page. But the great thing about this virtual sip and shop is that 15% of whatever is made is being donated back to the Humane Society. So that's just really fabulous. It's a win-win for everybody. Win-win-win. Okay. And then May 2nd, for all of my people, all of my yogis out there, or maybe for the people who are trying to live a better and more healthy lifestyle, we are doing a virtual cat yoga. So typically we will have a yoga instructor come to our shelter, and people will gather in a toll, and we'll let like 10 cats loose. So while you're doing yoga, you'll have this cute little cat, you know, playing with your ponytail, or just being their cute selves. Obviously we can't do that, but we're still going to offer the virtual yoga lesson. So again, that's under the events tab. It's just a $5 donation to the Humane Society. So we're just hoping we can get as many people virtually together to enjoy cat yoga. And all of the information is on the events tab. So if you're like, well, how am I going to tune in? All of that information is there. Okay. Okay. And last but not least, a huge thank you to this week's sponsor, which is Stryker Electric. They are an electric and AC company that has just really generously blessed the Humane Society. They help us with any lighting issue or electrical issue. They come out and they help us out. They're also amazing volunteers with our Humane Society, and they're just some of our biggest supporters. So thank you, Stryker, for everything that you do throughout the year, but then thank you for for sponsoring this week's story time. So their information is also above in the caption. Consider them when you need anything done, because you'll know that they're helping the shelter while they're also giving you great service. So thank you, Stryker. Thank you. Okay, I need a sip of water. So sorry. Too much talking. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get reading. So get your kids, get your dogs. Look, they're all cozy, they're all comfy, and let's get started with this week's book. All right. So this week's book is called The Very Cranky Bear. What do you think this book is about? The Very Cranky Bear. And it's written and illustrated by Nick Bland. Look at him. Big grumpy old bear. All right. All right. Can you guys see? Let's get started. In the jingle jangle jungle on a cold and rainy day, 4 little friends found a perfect place to play. Moose had marvelous antlers, and Lion a golden mane. Zebra had fantastic stripes, and Sheep, well, Sheep was just plain. See? None of them had noticed that someone else was there. Sleeping in that cave was a very cranky bear. Roar, went the cranky bear. Roar, roar, roar. He gnashed his teeth and stomped his feet and chased them out the door. So in the jingle jangle jungle, on a cold and rainy day, four little friends had nowhere warm to play. I bet you they didn't know that that cave was the home to a big old bear, huh? And what do you think? What are their faces telling you? Do they look happy or do they look terrified? I think they look terrified. Look, they even ditched their cards. They're like, we got to get out of here. Bear looks all mean and cranky. Wait a minute, said Zebra as she scratched her furry chin. Maybe if we cheered him up, he'd let us come back in. If I did not have stripes, said Zebra, I'd be cranky too. We should give that bear some stripes. That's what we should do. Stripes are silly, Moose complained, especially on a bear. My antlers always cheer me up. Let's give that bear a pair. So Zebra's giving him stripes, or wants to give him stripes. Moose wants to give him his antlers. They're trying to help him, right? They see that he's cranky, and so they're like, well, maybe we can give him something to cheer him up. Do you think that the bear wants any of this, though? We'll see. No, 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 said Lion. Antlers are a bore. A golden mane like mine, he said, would cheer him up for sure. Oh, bye, though. Oh, bye, though. Okay, good girl. What do you think Sheep has to offer? Do you think the sheep wants to give him anything? So Zebra fetched a tin of mud, and Lion some grass of gold. Moose got 2 big branches, and Sheep, well, Sheep got cold. Standing outside in the rain. Sheep was getting worried. They'd been eaten up for sure. And then from in the cave, there came a very cranky roar. Zebra, Lion, and Moose ran out, and Bear was right behind them. They hid behind the bushes where they hoped he wouldn't find them. Why is he still cranky? He's got antlers, stripes, and mane. Before we gave him those, Lion said, he looked so very plain. You guys see? He's got stripes like the zebra, the mane, and antlers. Does he look happy? I don't think so. As Bear stormed back inside the cave, he turned and roared at Sheep. All I really want, he said, is a quiet place to sleep. So she fetched a pair of clippers and she clipped off half her wool. She stuffed it in a cotton bag until the bag was full. She tiptoed back inside the cave. Excuse me, Bear, she said. Would you like a pillow for underneath your head? Look, do you think that her friends think that this is going to work? I think they look like, I think she lost her mind. I don't know if this is going to work. Why would the bear want a pillow? Well, thank you very much, said Bear, and soon he fell asleep. Maybe he was dreaming of a plain but thoughtful sheep. Look, and now they all get to play. So what do you think the moral of this story is, friends? Go ahead, tell the person next to you. What do you think that this story is trying to tell us? I think that this story is trying to tell us that we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, right? At first, all of the friends, the zebra, the moose, the lion, and the sheep, they saw this bear and they were like, holy cannoli, he is so cranky and so mean. And then the sheep was like, well, I'm plain. I have nothing to offer. But was that true for any of them? Yes, the bear was a little cranky, but he was tired. He just wanted a place to sleep without being interrupted. And was it true about the sheep? Did the sheep have anything to offer? She did. And so by listening to what the bear needed, what the bear really needed, the sheep was able to offer him something that the other animals couldn't offer. Okay, so it's telling us that we can't judge somebody because they're mean to us one time. We all have bad days. We've all said things mean to our brothers and sisters that we shouldn't have said, but maybe we weren't feeling well, or maybe we didn't get enough sleep that night before, or the night before. And so we can't just say, oh, well, brother and sister, they're really mean and I don't like them ever again. We have to be kind to them, and we have to listen to why they might be a little cranky and figure out if we can do something kind to help them feel a little bit better, right? That's what I think this book is telling me. I think it's also really important now that we're all home, we're all kind of cooped up, we're all feeling a little antsy. And so being extra kind is something that can help us get through this whole thing, right? So I want you to think, what is one thing that you can do that will show an act of kindness to each person in your family? Okay, I want you to think about that. And I think we all have a little bit of time to be able to do that act of kindness. So it might take a little creativity because we're all home. But I think that if you just stop and think for maybe 2 minutes, you can find something to do that will help your family and your brothers and sisters or your animals to feel kindness from you, right? And the other thing that this book was telling me was that we all don't need to look the same, right? To make each other feel good. Because remember, the zebra said, well, I feel the best because I have stripes, so I'm going to give him stripes. Did the bear want stripes? No, that wasn't going to make him feel better. Did the antlers make the bear feel better? No, he doesn't need antlers. He surely doesn't need a big gold mane. Okay, so we don't need to look the same to feel good. We just have to find what we love about ourselves and be happy with that. Okay, so what did you guys think about this book? Very Cranky Bear. I think it could be renamed the Very Sleepy Bear. Because all he needed was just a little bit of sleep, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed it. And I really hope that you show some kindness to your family members during this time, okay? So if you love this book, share this video. Again, being kind doesn't stop in Martin County. Being kind is universal. And I think it's something that a lot of people could benefit from hearing. So share this video. I hope you loved it. I loved it. And again, a huge thank you to Stryker Electric for sponsoring this week's story time. So I will be back here again on Friday. I'll be at the shelter, and I'm hoping I have some critters to join me for story time on Friday. So thank you, everybody, for joining and tuning in. Stay tuned onto our Humane Society Facebook page because we just have a ton of educational things happening at 11 a.m. every single day. So that is it. Thank you all. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Adele is all She is all tuckered out. So happy Wednesday, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. You say hello? You say hello? Look at her face.